Hello everyone, a very warm welcome again to each one of you for the virtual session of science. I hope you all are doing very well, children. So let us see what are we going to have in this session. We are going to continue with the chapter The Living Organisms and Their Surroundings. We have started this chapter in the Zoom session. As you all know, we have seen the living organism and their surrounding chapter we have already started, and you have to put this in your index as a regular practice as was instructed in the Zoom session, and you have to start writing on a new page. So you have seen how living organism there in the environment. We have a biotic and abiotic factors. We have biotic factors, that means the living factors, all the tiny creatures, every living organism together makes biotic factors, and abiotic factors are all the non-living things surrounding us that we have seen. And we have seen the habitat of camel in the previous session, that is in the Zoom session. So let us see what are we going to have in this session of the chapter The Living Organism and Their Surroundings. So let us see, we are going to have one more living organism we are going to discuss, that is fish. So let us see how fish adapt itself to the living, to survive, to live in the surrounding, how the adaptation help them to survive, to live in the given surrounding by the nature. So they have streamlined shape, helps to move easily in water, presence of slippery scales, gills help in utilizing dissolved oxygen, flat fins and tail help in changing direction in the water. So these are the adaptation of the fish. As you have seen the adaptation of the camel suitable for the desert, how they survive in the desert. Fish cannot survive in the desert. First of all, fish will not live without water. So every living organism have their habitat, and they adapt themselves to the given habitat to survive. Please write down all these points in your notebook, children. The aquatic organism, you can see they utilize the dissolved oxygen in the water. Fishes respire with the help of gills, and they take up the dissolved oxygen in the water. And you take them out of water, they will die because they cannot inhale the oxygen present in the air. They require the dissolved oxygen in the water, which with the help of gills they will respire. So gills will only respire in water, and they will use up the dissolved oxygen. Both the organisms discussed above have specific features or characteristics that enable them to survive in their habitat. These features are termed as adaptation. So we have discussed about camels, we have discussed about fish. So both the organism or the living creatures have the characteristic enables them, the features of the body enables them to survive in their habitat. These features are termed as adaptation. So please take down all these points. Here both the organism means the camel and the fish, which we have discussed. So terrestrial habitat, we will see now the difference between the terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat. So you will see the points over here for the terrestrial habitat. Plants and animals that thrive on land had to live in terrestrial habitat. So those are living organisms which survive on land, they are called as terrestrial habitat. That means the whatever nature is giving them, whatever provision is given to them by the nature on land, they survive in that habitat. That's why they are called as terrestrial habitat. Example, forests, deserts, mountain regions. So all these are the habitats. Forest is a habitat, desert is a habitat, mountain region is a habitat. So you will find variety of living organism or creatures in the forest, deserts and mountainous regions. Whereas aquatic habitat, plants and animals that thrive in water said to live in aquatic habitat. So river, lakes, ponds, seas, ocean, all those are aquatic habitat. And the living organism which survive in water, in any water bodies like river, ponds, lake, ocean, they are called as the aquatic habitat. They survive in the aquatic habitat. So please take this down, the points of comparison between terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat. Habitat is actually where the living organism will be able to survive, will be able to live, will be able to adapt itself to the given surrounding. That is called as habitat. So on earth you have the variety of habitats, and different living organisms adapt to themselves to the given habitat. Journey through different habitats. Now terrestrial habitats, we will see deserts. The following adaptations of various organisms are enlisted below. So let us see some more animals in the desert region. We have seen camels, so we will see some more animals over here. We will see, we will have a journey through different habitats where the animals will have different habitats and how they survive, how the body structure modified so that they can live in that particular given habitat. So here snakes and rats dig burrows to escape intense heat as they don't have long legs such as camels. These animals comes out only during the night when it is cooler. So this is the adaptation of the snakes and rats in the deserts, and they survive by digging burrows to escape heat. This is how, otherwise they will die because of too much of heat. So this is how in deserts rats and snakes they have survive, and desert is a different type of habitat where you will find a different types of rats and snakes over there, where they have adapted themselves to survive in that given surrounding. I hope you are writing there, children. In desert, plants leaves are reduced to spine and lose little water through transpiration. So let us see how plants survive in the desert region. The leaves are reduced to spines. You will not find leaves in desert areas where you have plants with spines, because they are modified into spines where there is less chances of losing water through transpiration. As you all know, transpiration is a process of giving out water in the form of water vapor through leaves. That is how the water is regulated in plants. The water content is regulated. But in a desert area where there is little amount of water for the plants and we hardly water plants, they get very little water, so that leaves are modified into spines so that they will not lose too much of water through transpiration. The stem of desert plants have a waxy coating on them, and in most of them photosynthesis is carried out by the stem. So since the leaves are modified into spines, that's why the leaf plays a major role in photosynthesis in different other habitats. But in the desert, what happens? Stem plays the role of performing photosynthesis, where it has a waxy coating. Their roots go deep into the soil so as to absorb water. So there is very little amount of water on the surface and very little scanty rainfall. That's why the roots go deep into the soil, where the roots can search for water deep inside. The leaves in desert plants are absent to prevent loss of water due to transpiration. This we have already discussed. And some of the animals are camels, kangaroo, rats, etc. These are the animals found in the desert region. Camels we have already discussed. I hope you are writing all these points in desert. This is the points for desert habitats which we are doing. So we are having a journey through different habitats. We started with the desert here. Mountain regions. The trees are cone shaped with slope like branches. Also needle like leaves are present so that the rain and snow slide off them easily. So when the rain or snow fall on the leaves, they could slide easily. For that, leaves are modified into a cone shape with slope like branches, and also needle like leaves, so that rain and snow doesn't remain on the leaves and hamper the other process of the leaves. Other very important process, as you all know, transpiration, photosynthesis done by leaves. Animals have thick fur which provides protection from cold. Example, snow leopard. Presence of strong hooves help the mountain goat to run on the rocky slope. So the goat on the mountainous region have strong hooves which help them to run on the rocky slopes. Examples, over here you have pines, mountain goats, yaks, sheep, etc. Yaks have long hair to keep them warm. So here you have a pine tree, then you will find mountain goats, then you will have yaks, sheep, etc. They are adapted to the mountainous region, and yaks have a long hair to keep them warm because to stay away from extreme cold. So these are the adaptations shown by the trees or plants or animals in the mountain region. Then we will see over here a tree found in mountain region. See how the shape of the leaves, so that it can just allow the snow and the rainfall to slip away, and it should not remain on the leaves of the tree. Just have a look at this, a tree found in mountain region. They are modified naturally so that they can adapt themselves, and that's why they are able to survive. So here we come to an end of the session, children. I hope you all enjoyed the session. Please do make points mentioned in the video session to you all children. Thank you, children, and have a wonderful day.